In 1943, my grandmother fed a family of 7 on one scrawny yard bird. That chicken lasted for meals. Today, folks throw out more food in a week than she used in a month. If you are cooking for one now, and the house has grown quieter than it used to be, these old poor man's chicken dinners are exactly what you need. They are cheap. They are simple. They can stretch a single thigh into 2 suppers. Number 14 was served in White House kitchens during the Depression. Number 3 was the first meal Julia Child ever cooked for her husband. So, grab a cup of coffee and pull up a chair. Here are 25 forgotten poor man's chicken dinners every senior living alone needs to remember. And do hit the subscribe button before we start. Let's begin our countdown. Number 25, chicken and drop dumplings. Your grandmother didn't need a roster to feed a crowd. She would take one bony chicken back, simmer it with an onion and a carrot for an hour, then drop spoonfuls of flour and milk dough right into the bubbling broth. 10 minutes later, she had dumplings the size of biscuits floating on top like clouds. A chicken back cost maybe 15 cents in 1952, and the flour was already in the pantry. For a senior cooking alone today, this is still the best use of a leftover rotisserie carcass. You pull the scraps, simmer the bones, drop your dumplings, and you've got tonight's of supper out of a bird you already ate once. Nothing wasted, nothing fancy, just warmth in a bowl. Number 24, chicken a la king on toast. In the 1940s, this was what every diner in America served for Sunday lunch. Chopped chicken, peas, pimientos, and mushrooms folded into a cream sauce and ladled over to slices of buttered toast. That was it. Your mother could make it from Sunday's leftover roast chicken, a handful of frozen peas, and a jar of pimientos that cost 9 cents at the and the beauty is it stretches almost nothing into something that feels like you're eating at a hotel. Seniors living alone, listen up. This is a perfect single-serving supper. Half a cup of chopped chicken feeds one person easily, and you can make the sauce in a saucepan on a Tuesday night without breaking a sweat. Number 23, chicken croquettes. These golden little footballs ruled the church supper circuit from 1935 through the Kennedy years. Finely chopped leftover chicken mixed with thick white sauce, chilled until firm, rolled in cracker crumbs, and fried in a skillet until the outside cracked like glass. Depression-era housewives learned croquettes in home economics class, where teachers called them the respectable way to serve leftovers. A cup of chopped chicken made 6 croquettes enough for 2 meals with a side of creamed peas. The trick is chilling the mixture for at least 2 hours so it holds its shape. If you have a half cup of leftover chicken tonight, you have croquettes tomorrow. Serve them with a little lemon and suddenly dinner for one feels like something special again. Number 22, city chicken. Here's the kicker. City chicken has no chicken in it at all. During the Depression, pork and veg were cheaper than chicken in Detroit, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh. So, Polish and Italian immigrant cooks cubed pork shoulder, threaded it on wooden skewers, breaded it, and fried it to look like a drumstick. They called it city chicken because city folks could not raise backyard hens the way country families could. A pound of pork shoulder cost 23 cents in 1938, cheaper than a whole bird. Seniors from Pennsylvania and Ohio still remember this one. For skewers feed one person twice, and the leftovers reheat beautifully in a low oven with a splash of chicken broth. It is a forgotten trick from a generation that refused to let a tight budget mean a sad plate. Number 21, chicken fricassee. This was the dish every farm wife made when a hen stopped laying. You would cut up the old bird, dust the pieces in seasoned flour, brown them in bacon fat, then simmer them in milk or cream for an hour and a half until the meat fell off the bone. The gravy thickened all by itself, and you ladled the whole thing over mashed potatoes or egg noodles. Julia Child put fricassee in her first cookbook because she said it was the dish that separated good cooks from lazy ones. For one person today, to chicken thighs make a perfect fricassee in 45 minutes. The cream sauce keeps in the icebox for 3 days and actually tastes better on the second night. Number 20, chicken and rice casserole. 536 Every American kitchen in 1962 had the same recipe taped to the inside of a cabinet door. 1 can of cream of mushroom soup, 1 cup of raw rice, 1 1/2 cups of water, and for chicken pieces laid on top. Put it into a casserole dish into a 350 oven, and 90 minutes later, you had supper. Campbell sold more soup in the 60s off the back of this single recipe than from any advertising campaign they ever ran. The genius is you do not even brown the chicken first. The rice absorbs all the fat from the skin as it cooks. For a senior living alone, you can have the recipe in a small baking dish and get to suppers out of it with 0 dishes to scrub. Number 19. Chicken pot pie with biscuit top. Your grandmother did not mess with pastry crust on a weeknight. She would make the filling in a cast iron skillet, dropped rounds of baking powder biscuits on top, and slid the whole skillet into the oven until the biscuits puffed and turned golden. 25 minutes, 1 pan, no rolling pin. During the 1950s, this was called a quick pie because it cut the work of traditional pot pie in half. It is the ideal meal for one. A small cast iron skillet serves to generous portions, and reheating the second half in the oven the next night makes the biscuits taste even better than the first time around. Number 18. Chicken and noodles over mashed potatoes. Pennsylvania Dutch country taught America this double-starch supper, and it sounds wrong until you try it. Shredded chicken in broth with white egg noodles ladled over a mound of buttery mashed potatoes. Amish families ate it at church suppers because it filled hungry farmers on almost no meat. 1 cup of chicken fed 10 people when you served it this way. The broth soaks into the potatoes. The noodles go silky, and somehow the whole plate tastes richer than the sum of its parts. A senior with half a potato and 1/4 cup of leftover chicken can make this in 15 minutes. It's cheap, it's warm, and it tastes like somebody's grandmother's kitchen in 1958. Number 17. Mock chicken legs. Different from city chicken, mock chicken legs were made from ground pork and ground V-shape around a popsicle stick to mimic a drumstick. Wartime rationing made real chicken hard to find, so butchers sold these by the dozen at Kroger and at a N.P. for 35. You would bread them in crushed saltine crackers, brown them in a skillet, then finish them in the oven with a little chicken built-in. My mother said she did not know chicken had bones until she was 9 years old because all she had ever eaten was mock legs. 2 of these make a perfect supper for one, and you can freeze the rest uncooked, pulling them out whenever the wheat gets lean. A forgotten wartime trick that still works. Number 16. Chicken hash. Hash wasn't just for corned beef. Every Monday morning, diners from Boston to San Francisco chopped up Sunday's leftover chicken with cold boiled potatoes and onions, fried it in a cast iron skillet until the bottom formed a crust, and topped it with a fried egg. The Waldorf Astoria put chicken hash on its menu in 1893 and charged $2 for a plate. Your grandmother did it on a Tuesday for free. It's the perfect single-serving breakfast or supper. A half cup of chicken, 1 potato, half an onion, and you've got a meal in 10 minutes. The brown crust on the bottom is the whole point. Do not stir it too much. Number 15. Cream chicken on biscuits. This was the Sunday night supper after a big Sunday afternoon dinner. You would take the chicken meat you did not finish at lunch, shred it into a cream sauce made from the pond drippings and a little milk, and spoon it over hot split biscuits. Southern grandmothers called it angel food because it melted in your mouth. A cup of leftover chicken and 2 biscuits from it can make a full supper for one person in 12 minutes flat. It is the kind of meal that reminds you why simple food beats fancy food 9 times out of 10. The secret is a pinch of nutmeg in the cream sauce. Your grandmother knew. Most modern cooks do not. Number 14. Chicken loaf. Served at the White House by Eleanor Roosevelt's kitchen during the Depression. Chicken loaf was meatloaf's lighter cousin. Ground chicken, or finely chopped leftover chicken mixed with breadcrumbs, an egg, celery, and a little sage, then baked in a loaf pan for 40 minutes. Eleanor insisted on it once a week during the New Deal years to show Americans they could eat well on a budget. A small loaf feeds one person for 3 nights. Hot the first night with gravy, cold the second in a sandwich, and crumbled into soup on the third. For seniors living alone, this is the kind of dish that earns its place in the icebox. It gets better every day it sits. Quick pause before number 13. If you are enjoying these recipes and want the full collection, I put together a cookbook with 100 simple meals just like these, all portioned for 1 or 2 people. The link is right below this video in the description. Now, back to the countdown. Number 13, Chicken Dawn. In 1937, the